Hello everyone, welcome on back to Pallegney. Alright, so first things first, I just want to get the milk here. I'm gonna get it brought over, but yeah, I do think long term we will need to obviously get a larger dairy, because there's still like 200 liters left in our small little dairy production here. And we put that in, what, 2 months ago, so it's been a little while. It's not going through that much. I mean, we put like 1,000 liters in there, so 3,000 liters is going to last a really long time. Alright, so I'm going to get switched over to the class here. I'm going to get a worker on tethering for the field that we just mowed last time. We do have the oats right there that are in need of harvest. It is harvest time for that, so we'll be doing that here shortly as well. I do have some bread that I'm probably going to sell. I'll sell it right at the production site, basically. Which is kind of the nice part, almost. I suppose I should probably just do it this way. We have the bread, obviously, and the sell point is right here, so it's kind of convenient, almost. I think it's yeah, it's a fairly good price. It's not the highest possible price, but it's a good one. We should probably be thinking about getting the bottled milk sold too, then. Yes, there are some products in there that I am fully aware that we do not own, so I'm not quite, or have, I'm not sure where they are. It says we own them. Couldn't tell you where they actually, are on the map. When I look at the show storage thing I have in here, it just says pallets. So they're in a pallet form somewhere on the map. Couldn't tell you where, though. So I would assume it's by the sawmill for that, but I've been here before and I've yet to see it, so it might be inside of the production, but I'm pretty sure I checked that out and it was not the case, so not 100% sure where those things are. Obviously, let me know. I don't think I'd sell them, but just out of curiosity's sake. Do we have... How many things of bottled milk do we have? Just the one? Will we get a second one by the end of today? Maybe? That's a heavy maybe, though. Fairly good price. And we can probably use as much money as we can get right now. And we have $123,000, but I do have a planter I'd like to buy instead of renting it, the one that we rented last time. I wouldn't mind buying that long term. It's gonna be really unfortunate once this field is grown enough where it actually will have crop damage, because yeah, I drive in it a lot, so gonna be rather unfortunate once we get to that point. Making fairly good headway. I suppose I should get a windrow probably rented, because we'll hopefully get at least tethered, windrowed, maybe baled. Kind of just depends on timing. We'll do this one. I could afford to buy it. I think we'll lease it this time. We'll lease it this time. But yeah, long term, obviously, that is something we're gonna want to buy. At least look into buying. Yeah, we want to make sure we get this harvest done fairly soon, because I think right around noon, it's supposed to start snowing. So it's kind of critical that we get this done earlier than later. Because once it starts snowing, it'll stop us from harvesting. Alright, lower that. Off we go. All of these oats will be put into the mill. And we'll have some flour made, and then that'll turn into bread. Because right now we have 2 productions basically sitting there rented, waiting on this. Really, I don't... After this, when's the next... Do we have another crop soonish? Ooh, we do not. What's the sorghum's... Oh, this is barley. I thought I put sorghum in it. I suppose I couldn't put sorghum in it. Yeah, after this, our next thing to go in there would probably be canola, and that'd be several months out. Yeah, I'm gonna... We'll sell the rest of the canola oil that's in here. There's 200 and some liters. We'll just have that sell. It's a little bit unfortunate. Then we'll just have to release it probably once we get doing the canola harvest, maybe. If it makes sense. Obviously, if we don't get much from it, then it probably doesn't make sense to do. Well, I think I'll probably start up a time lapse for this. So I'll text everyone once the time lapse is done. Alright, so we are just about done here, and it looks like it's pretty good timing because the worker is done on the tethering too. So we'll just get this unloaded, then we'll get the tractor, the class, we'll get the tether brought back in, we'll get the windrow picked up. We'll have that, get a little bit of a head start on it. Then with the Valtra I can get this put into the mill, get that going. Then we can come behind it with the baler and start working on that. We should be able to get it baled and everything. We won't be able to get it picked up, but that's not the end of the world. Alright, so we'll get this unloading and then we'll hop over there and check out the work it did and make sure it did a good job. I would assume it did a fairly good job. I don't see any bits missed, so I certainly can't complain, that is for certain. So we'll get that folded up and we'll head back in. Now, of course, this has only been, fertilized once this harvest. Then the next time we mow it, it'll be the same way. Partially because I'm getting into it a little late. I might be able to do it today. I think preferably what I'm going to have to do probably next time, just to make sure I'm early enough, is to get it fertilized the day I mow it. That same day. Otherwise, I'm going to start running into issues with it not obviously going to be taking the fertilize. Much like it did not this last time, so. How are we doing on the bottled milk? Wow, we've hardly made any today. Well, I'm going to grab the one that we have then. So I certainly don't think we'll get the other one today. It's did, what, 15 liters since I started recording? And it's been, what, a half hour? Half hour for recording so far. So, and it's at 2 times speed. It's been an hour of in-game time, so. It's certainly not the quickest thing. That's why I was saying I think we need to look at getting a larger dairy, either on the farm or rent one. What I might do, I haven't obviously 100% decided, but I might rent the one on the map, and then once that one canola field is done, that's right next to the farm there. I talked about it, I think, last time, how I might want to put the dairy there, or make it part of the farm. So we'll rent the one on the map, and then once that field is done and harvested, we'll get a dairy placed on. And honestly, I might take a little bit from that field, and then I might combine it with the field right next to it, field 31. And we'll just make, a little bit of an extension. It won't be much. Yeah, this field right here I was talking about. I think, some of it might get combined maybe. There's like 2 trees we'd have to cut, but then I would take some of it, make it part of the farm, put a dairy there. Obviously right now we don't need a ton of milk space per se, because we only have, what, maybe 20 cows that are actually producing milk. So it's not a ton they're producing, so I'm not sure. Are they going to do headland first? Okay, they will. Get this folded on back up and everything. But yeah, maybe like, there'll be a nice little cutoff in here. We'll make some of it part of the farm, not all of it. The dairy I was thinking about getting potentially is not super huge. So it's not like it's going to take up a ton of space. Like, right now we're driving through this a lot. We've been driving through this field quite a bit. It'd be nice if we could, just have it a part of the farm. It's hard almost not to drive into it. It's a tighter space, obviously, in here. So trying to not drive in can be a little bit difficult, but that's why I'm thinking maybe making some of it just part of the farm will be better long term. Alright, so we'll hop over here. 16,000 liters from the oats, and not too bad, not too bad. And honestly, I think it might be quicker just to go up to the road from here than bring it to the mill. All right, so let's make sure we have that on right now. It's not, so we'll get it activated. Then this will start up once it starts moving products over, which I'm pretty sure it's top of hour when it starts actually actively moving stuff over. Part of me is tempted to do some water buffalo in here too. It's tempting because we have a decent amount more we can put in here for cows, so it's tempting just to do some and then, you know, have a little bit for like buffalo mozzarella or something. This field needs to be weeded. I completely forgot about that. That's going to take priority over baling. Yeah, good thing I drove by here. Completely forgot. So we have to... Honestly, it might be worth buying the hoe. Because that's something we're always going to use in every field for the most part, outside the grass field. We're going to have to weed it, obviously. So it might be worth buying that. Well, thankfully I did drive by there. Otherwise, that would have not been good next month when I noticed. And I was like, oh, now we got to get a sprayer and herbicide to take care of it. Oh, we do. Oh, yeah. I must have bought the hoe. I honestly didn't think I had it, but I guess I did. Well, it's a nice little surprise, almost. Here, I was thinking I was gonna have to spend 30 grand, but this is only what, one lap around now, so we would have caught up pretty quick, anyways. So probably for the best. Well, I wanted to look at what's the capacity for this. 102. Like I said, it's tempting to do some water buffalo. Like, they don't produce that much per month, but obviously being able to do some into a buffalo mozzarella would be quite nice. So I'm going to buy some. I'll buy 10. Not too many. And I'll put steering assist on, I think. Because why not? Yeah, this is slowly working back around now. Yeah, this is gonna take a little while to do. The headland always takes a really long time for workers, it seems. So then up and down probably won't take too long. Because, I mean, example A, they're kind of sitting here, turning around quite a bit. It's just how the workers are. They're better than nothing, so I can't really complain too much, but now they're going to sit here and slowly move. They do best in straight lines. Alright, well, I think I'll just do a time lapse for the hoeing here, so I'll talk to everyone once the time lapse is done. Alright, so nice and quick there. The hoeing is always super quick, so this is really taking a while over here. I'll make it back to the farm then. Honestly, well, hopefully we can make it back to the farm in one piece. Honestly, I might take over for the worker there. Look at that field done. The next time we'll likely end up doing the baling, and we'll have the one field that has to get replanted too. I think that's both Veltra jobs. I'd have to check the baler to be certain. I'm pretty sure the baler is a high enough horse that it would require the Veltra, but I might be incorrect. Probably am incorrect, to be honest. We can double check. 120. Yeah, that'd be fine. I do have the Classis pack in here now, so there's a bunch of different stuff, but could, you know, someday maybe. They're actually pretty good priced. If it wasn't for this mod, these would be a really good price, all things considered. Yeah, I guess I'll just, I'll finish this out quick with a time-lapse. So I'll talk to everyone once the time-lapse is done.
Thought another goal is all we needed. Taking second chances till we bleed. And when all the love had been depleted, we had but no choice to concede. As the stars were dancing in their line, past the we could never run. Oh, they were dancing way up high. Stars were dancing in their line.
Alright, so we're just about done here. Maybe one more strip after this. Then we can get the windrow returned. Oh, I think that's about everything. I'm sure I might have missed, you know, small bits, like right at the end. Yeah, I see a couple pieces where, you know, I raised a little too early or I lowered a little too late, and yeah, then you missed a little bit. Is what it is. It's not the end of the world, but we'll get... Still short on bottled milk. Go figure. We'll get that returned. I think next time we might buy it instead. That's what I'm thinking, at least. So yeah, next time we'll have to get, what, field 31 probably replanted. We'll have to get this field baled up, probably picked up. Which I think the class should be able to do the baling. We'll see. Because the Veltra has to do planting. That's like a Veltra job, basically. So, anyways, that is about everything for today. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.